Okay, two-dimensional geometry is an important topic in mathematics and it is required at every stage. Why do we need 2D geometry? Why do we need something like coordinate geometry? Okay, now coordinate is one word and geometry is another. So we have spent good amount of time on geometry, the entire extent. We have studied pure geometry in detail. In ninth standard, majority of the time was spent on algebra. So coordinate geometry is something which tries to bridge algebra and geometry. That is the meaning of coordinate geometry. Problems which we used to solve using geometry, pure geometry, can easily be solved using coordinate geometry and vice versa. Few problems of coordinate geometry, if we have geometry base good, then we will be able to solve them very quickly. And therefore, now having studied geometry in detail, having studied algebra in detail, it is time to study coordinate geometry. Now, let me ask you one question. Geometry. Suppose I draw a line here, straight line, and when I draw a straight line, represent the straight line by this, whatever I have drawn. However, we all understand that it is a line which never stops. It keeps on going in this direction. Also, it keeps on going in this direction. If we zoom it, then I will end up having some width to this particular straight line that I have drawn, some thickness here. But we understand that straight line doesn't any thickness, and therefore for all practical purposes in pure geometry we cannot draw straight line. Whatever we draw is a compromise we do, because the moment you draw straight line it will have some thickness. The moment you draw some straight line you will have to stop somewhere, and by the meaning of straight line or a plane, we mean it does not stop. It has infinite dimension in whatever dimension sense we are discussing. So if it is a straight line, it has all the points on this straight line, whether I draw it or not. Now the real life question is going to be, suppose I draw this straight line and I take a long point somewhere here. Suppose point P is there somewhere in this plane and the line L is drawn. We wish to know whether the point P belongs to this L or not. And in pure geometry, I really do not know how to go about it. I want you to think and answer. Tell me whether this P belongs to L or not. That's my recording. Okay. So few students said that you join with a straight edge, check whether P lies on that point or on that line or not. Few students said take any point on line, join it with P, measure the angle between them. If the angle is 180, then collinear, otherwise not. But the point that I am trying to make here is, in pure geometry, whatever diagrams that we have made, in pure geometry we drew point, we drew line, we drew circle, and it was a compromise. Because the moment we draw a point, it is not a point, it is cluster of a point. Because if you zoom and check what is the dimension of that point, we should not have any dimension of that point, but we will get it because we have drawn. We will have some thickness to our pen and it will produce cluster of points. Therefore, for all theoretical purpose, we cannot draw line, we cannot draw point, we cannot express plane, But still we said in geometry that we will do something, because otherwise we will not be able to do any kind of development. We will not be able to construct bridges, we will not be able to construct buildings. Nothing can happen unless we start drawing. And therefore we said, okay, we understand that theoretically we cannot draw line, we cannot draw point, but we will say that yes, whatever I have drawn right now is a straight line. Whatever I have drawn represented this point P is a point. Okay, we understand that it is a compromise, but for all practical purposes, we are ready to go ahead with the compromise. And hence we got the entire geometry developed. The entire P got developed because the basis was the compromise. Now, when it comes to finding out whether this point, now this point may not be so near. It might be in the city Mumbai, and I want to check whether this line is containing this point or not, whether it is collinear or not. So join with a straight line doesn't make any sense. We understand this line does not stop. This point may be on moon, and we want to check whether it is collinear or not. It is impossible to check the angle, right? So, but then we are required to figure out whether this is going to be collinear or not. And you will realize that these days, all this is going to be important because we are launching satellites. We are reaching Mars. And unless and until we have methodology to find out whether these points belong to this loci or not, locus or not, how will we reach the destination that we want to reach? Impossible. And therefore, based on the pure geometry theory that we have developed, which is true, which is solid, which is correct, we need to answer these questions whether this comes to the line or not, and that is where coordinate geometry comes into the picture. I think I have written that. Coordinate geometry. Suppose I have got this is a geometry. Suppose I have some algebra related to this line, some algebra, some function of say x, some algebra related to this line, some algebra related to this point, maybe say x comma y, something like that, some algebra, some numbers related to this point, then I can see, suppose algebra related to this line is 2x plus 3y is equal to 8. And suppose this point is 1, 2. So algebra related to this point is 1, 2. Algebra related to this line is 2x plus 3y is equal to 8. Then yes, this is doable. I put x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2 in this equation. And if I get LHS is equal to RHS, I say yes, this point belongs to this line. If I don't, I say no, this point does not belong to this line. So we are eliminating the physical drawing of the line, physical existence of the point on that plane, measuring angle, etc. We are totally eliminating that, and we take help of our algebraic skills to check whether the point belongs to this line or this curve or not. And therefore, it is extremely important that we develop a correlation between algebra and geometry. If we could successfully develop a correlation between algebra and geometry, then yes, we will be able to answer all these questions accurately. There is no doubt that this point belongs to this line because LHS is 8, RHS is 8, equal. If it was 1, 3, then of course not. The point does not belong. So are you there? So coordinate geometry fundamentals is establishing the relationship between algebra and geometry. Okay. So we start with say a straight line in geometry. How many points are there on the straight line? Infinitely. So geometry, straight line. In algebra, we take real number set. How many real numbers are there? Infinitely. How many points are there on straight line? Point on a straight line is a geometry. A real number is an algebra. Okay? Any representative of the real number is, say, x, y, a, b, c, any letter we can use for representing the set of real numbers here. And any point on the line, you can denote it like this. Maybe these are the points. So when we want to have a bridge between these two, we have to have a decorated straight line. Point this point on the straight line, I denote it by 0. It's 0. This point on the straight line, I consider the level of that point equal to 1. Corresponding point other side, I put the label for that point -1, -2, +2, right? And then it becomes a real number line. So real number line is the first representation in the coordinate geometry. So if I say P is origin. So what are the coordinates of P? Or what is the coordinate of 0? So in other words, I am asking what is the algebra of P? Algebra of P is 0. What is the geometry of 1? Oh, geometry of 1 is point Q. Can we divide 0 to 1 in infinitely many points? Yes. So in how many real numbers are there between 0 to 1? Infinite. So this is the first relationship. So straight line in geometry, so one dimension, and therefore in real numbers you will have only one number. Okay. Now this is straight line, but in geometry we have plane also. So if I want to represent a plane in geometry, so suppose it is a plane in geometry, and I want to represent every point in this plane. Now plane, when I draw like this, I am doing a compromise. Plane goes like this, infinite. Plane goes like this, infinite. So I do not know really how to draw it, but as a representative, I have drawn it. This is 2 dimensions. One dimension in this, another in this way, and we have to construct a bridge with algebra. Therefore, I say two sets of real numbers called R cross R. And therefore, if I want to have every point on the plane to be designated by some algebra, like every point on this, will there be root 2 available somewhere here? Sir, not here. Will there be root 2 available somewhere here? Yes, of course, root 2 point will be there on the real number line. Will there be any point whose coordinate is say root 3 minus root 3? Yes, there will be a point. So there will be one correspondence between points on the line and real number. Will it happen that point Q has got 2 coordinates? No, it will never happen. Will it happen that any number in real number set, say root 7, will have 2 points on real number line? No, it will never happen. So it is 1 correspondence. 1 correspondence. Bijection between straight line and real number. If it is a plane, it is going to be bijection between 2 straight lines and 2 sets of real numbers. Now, if I say, when I am moving in a plane, if I say I stay 50 meters from Karve Road, You come to my house, I say stay just 50 meters away from Curve Road. Let us assume my distance is perpendicular. Therefore, I can stay. Suppose this is Curve Road, so and this is 50 kilometers. I can be anywhere here. I can be anywhere here. It is 50 meters away from Curve Road. Is that right? And if I give you address that you come to my house and I stay 50 meters away from Curve Road, you will never be able to reach my house. But if I say I stay 50 meters away from Curve Road and 50 meters away from Paul Road, oh, then we are there, sir. Either I can reach here or this way. So definitely I get one point which is both 50-50. And hence the point is fixed. So this is two-dimensional. So I need at least two coordinates. So you can have any coordinate system set up in the coordinate in this plane, but most popular setup is x-axis and y-axis mutually perpendicular. That is the easiest way to deal with situation. X-axis and y-axis, and every point in this plane can have address, and it is going to look like ordered pair x, y. Okay, so extending this particular logic, we can have 3D where there is a space. I mean, if we are in space, we are in three-dimensional geometry, and there I cannot draw 3D. Whatever is here is 3D, and there you have z, x, and y. X, y, z. Corresponding correlation is r cross r cross r. This is also r square. So this is r cubed. Representation x, y, z, and so on. So we can visualize these three dimensions 1, 2, and 3. But when you grow up, 11th standard, 12th standard, we will say dot, dot, dot. Maybe n dimension. We will not be able to draw any picture geometrically. However, we will be able to deal with n-dimensional system algebraically. That is the beauty of this algebra. So strength of algebra is to go ahead and deal with higher dimensional system. Strength of geometry is to visualize what is happening. So if we could visualize in one dimension, if we could visualize in two dimensions, we can extend our visualization 3 dimensions. And based on the analogy or the progress from 1 to 2, 2 to 3, we can visualize what is going to happen in higher dimensions. And that is the whole summary of what coordinate geometry is and why do we need to study it, and eventually how it is going to be extremely useful for doing things in our life. Okay, I stop recording, you write down whatever you have understood, and then we... Okay, so now suppose I say that I am in one dimension. So f of x, one dimension, only one variable here, and I want to solve 3x is equal to 5. Okay, and I am in only one dimension. So the solution set that you will get, this is all those points on the real number line because I am in one dimension, such that if I multiply that point, coordinate of that point with 3, I get 5. So solution set is going to be 5 upon 3. Value of x is, the only value of x which is available is 5 by 3, which will give me this relationship true. And if I want geometric solution of this, then I will draw straight line, make it real number line. This is 0, this is 1, and then this is 2, then this is my required point 5 by 3. This is the solution, right? Suppose I say f of x, that means I am in one variable, x is a real variable, or instead of f of x I can say x is real variable. Okay, so let me explain what do I mean by this. X is real variable means I am walking on the real number line, and any point if I want to represent, I am going to use letter x. Will x mean 1? Yes, sometimes it means 1 if you are standing at this point. Will x mean 0? Yes, x will mean 0 if you are standing at origin. Will x mean 5 by 3? Yes, if you are standing. So x is taking variable values, therefore it's a variable. And it is a real number because you are walking on the real number line. Okay, so that is the meaning of x. It is a representative point on the real number line. It is a representative point. When I say x is equal, 3x is equal to 5, so what is the representative point? X is equal to, we say x is equal to 5 by 3. So it's a specific value of x which will be satisfying this equation. Otherwise, x is any point on that line. Okay, so x is a real variable. Then if I say mod x minus 1 is equal to 2, find solution set. Suppose I say like this, x is a real variable and mod x minus 1 is equal to 2, then absolute value of x minus 1 geometrically is distance of a point on the real number line, distance of point whose coordinate is x from 1. Distance of point whose coordinate is x from 1 should be 2. So from 1, either this point which is minus 1, if x is equal to minus 1, the distance is going to be 2, or x is equal to 3, distance is going to be 2. So solution say minus 1, 3. Right? Do you understand what I am trying to say is?
Yes, sir.
Solution set of one
Yes, sir.
dimensional system, one is a x is a real number, will be not ordered pair, not ordered triple, but a single number. In this case, it was 5 by 3. In this case, it was minus 1 comma 3. Okay. Now let me extend this. If I say x comma y are real variables. Now, the moment I say this, I have a real variable on x-axis and I have a real variable on y-axis. Okay, so I am talking about two-dimensional system, right? And when I say solve 3x is equal to 5, show me your answer algebraically and geometrically. Let me check whether you are understanding or not. I am saying x and y are real variables. Solve 3x is equal to 5. Show me the solution set. Okay. When I say x comma y are real variable, I am in plane. I am in 2 dimensions. And when I am asked to solve 3x is equal to 5 in 2-dimensional system, you can have any value of y for that matter. So this solution, if you solve this, you get x is equal to 5 by 3, but then you are supposed to report y also. You are supposed to report y also. Therefore, you can say y belongs to R. Any real number is fine with me Because if you take y any real number y, it will not restrict being this equation satisfied. Only x value should be pi by 3. So the solution set in that case is you draw a vertical line at pi by 3. Okay. So if you take this point, it is pi by 3 comma 0. Is this a solution set? Part of solution set? Yes, because y coordinate is 0. If you take this point, it is pi by 3 comma say 2. Is this part of solution set? Is it satisfying this equation? 3x is equal to 5? Yes. So this is 2. So y coordinate is real number, x coordinate is pi by 3. Or maybe set builder form, solution set, we can write ordered pair 5 by 3 comma y, where y belongs to r. This is the correct representation algebraically of the solution set. Geometrically, it is a vertical line parallel to y-axis. समझते हैं? Solve. Solve 3y minus 2 is equal to 10. What will be the solution set of this? If it is x comma y are real variables, two-dimensional system. Okay, x or y plane, and now y is 4. And x can be any real number. So if y is 4 and x can be any real number, so maybe this is what is the solution set. Y is always 4, x can take any value. X can take any value. Geometrically, it's a line parallel to x-axis passing through y is equal to 4. So 0, comma 4. This is 0, comma 4. Passing through 0, comma 4. X can be. Solution set algebraically, if I want to write, it is x, comma 4, where x belongs. समझते हैं? So now my question is, x is a real variable. Solve ax is equal to b, where a comma b belongs to real number. Okay, now you can show me algebraic solution set of this equation ax is equal to b, where a and b are real numbers and x is a real variable. Okay, when it comes to 3x is equal to 5, it is a different situation. Here, not here, but here. Here. When it comes to 3x is equal to 5 here, it is a different situation. When it comes to solve completely ax is equal to b, it is a different situation. Now, a and b are real numbers, but they are not real variables. Real numbers which actually do not look like numbers and are not variables are parameters. A comma b are parameters. Understand this. Every time if I say 3x is equal to 5, that means I am saying 3x is equal to 5. I don't have any other flexibility. A is equal to 3 and b is equal to 5. But I don't want to be so rigid. I want to solve ax is equal to b by keeping a also dynamic and b also dynamic. And they are real numbers. However, x is a real variable. X is somebody who is walking on the real number line and will stop at a point the moment the equation is satisfied. That is the value of x. Because it is walking, it is variable. and it is walking on a real number, it is real number line, therefore it is real variable. Do you understand? However, if I want to say that in general Ax is equal to B, then A and B are real numbers. I will not call them as real variables because they are not walking. They are going to be fixed somewhere or the other. But I don't want to fix them as A is equal to 3 and B is equal to 4. I want to keep the flexibility of A taking different values and B taking different values. Therefore, A and B are called parameters. You need to understand this, very important, because this word will come every now and then. So now if Ax is equal to B is a equation and A and B are parameters, then case 1, we really do not know what do we mean by A, how much is A, how much is B. So we have to take cases. Case 1, if A is not equal to 0, then solution set is B by A. Oh, that is correct. If case 2, if A is equal to 0 and B is equal to 0, oh, then this is 0 upon 0. Then solution set is entire real number. Oh, because it is the equation is going to be like 0x is equal to 0. So I put any value of x here belonging to real numbers. It will satisfy. The solution set is going to be real numbers, full real number line. Any point on the real number line will satisfy this equation if A and B, both of them are 0. Case 3. If A is equal to 0 and B is not equal to 0. Oh, solution set empty. This is solved completely. Ax is equal to B. 3 cases, and you have answered case 1. And maybe some of you have answered case 1 and case 2 simultaneously, or case 1 and case 3 simultaneously. But then case 2 remains, and this is most important result of your future mathematics. Solve completely. Ax is equal to B. If A is not equal to 0, just you have a permission to divide everything by it. If A is not equal to 0, you divide both sides LHS and RHS by A and you get x is equal to B by. You have that permission. But in these 2 cases, you don't have that permission to divide by A because A is 0. Further 2 cases, if B is 0. So now you realize that empty set is a solution set. Entire real number line is a solution set. And a specific B upon A. So these 3 cases give you the range of the solution set. It could be empty, it could be real number set, or it could be a specific point on the real number line. That is the meaning of solving completely Ax is equal to B. Question number 2. Solve completely Ax plus By is equal to C, where x, y are real variables and A, B belong to R. Do you understand the question? Now I am raising my dimension from 1 dimension to 2 dimension. Now you show me what are the solution sets. What is the solution set of Ax plus By plus C? Ax plus By is equal to C. I give you sufficient time. Okay. Now here also, I mean, you are going to get, because x and y are real variables, you are going to get ordered pair as solution set. Let us complete the easy cases first. Case 1, A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0, C is equal to 0. So if all three guys are 0, 0, 0, 0, then you can practically put any value of x and any value of y. So R cross R, or you can write solution set as x comma y such that x comma y belongs to R. This is the solution set. Case 2, A is equal to B is equal to 0, C is not equal to 0, right? Then it is going to be empty set because value of x comma y will satisfy the equation. Easy. Now case 3. A is equal to 0, B not equal to 0, C not equal to 0. Okay. So if B is not equal to 0, then I have a permission to divide by B, and therefore I will get, if I divide this expression by B, I get ax upon B plus y is equal to C by B. C upon, and therefore y is equal to C minus ax upon B. Solution set is ordered pair x comma y value is going to be C minus ax upon B, where x belongs to R. This is case 3 because you have permission to divide by B. Case 4.
AX will be 0, right?
Sir,
AX
C
will be
minus
0.
ax should be 0. Actually, C and minus 0. So there is no need
So
of
we remove
writing
this. I mean, we
x.
remove this condition. Okay. If B is not equal to 0, then this is the solution. Let it, if it's 0, it's okay. But if A is not 0, then also this is true. So therefore, we reduce number of cases. Okay. A should not have been written here. Case 4, A not equal to 0, C not equal to 0. We don't know what B is. In that case, I can divide by A, x plus by upon A is equal to C upon A. Therefore, x is equal to C minus by upon A. So, solution set in this case is ordered pair C.
Sir, there is actually, even if C is 0 in both the cases, it is allowed because it is in numerator.
Hmm.
Case C and case
Yes. Yes. So, we can remove this also. Okay. Have you understood now? This is the general solution set. Now, if I say that, let us check converse. Solution set of ax plus by is equal to C is, say, empty set. No value of x comma y is satisfying ax plus by plus c is equal to ax plus by is equal to c. Can you get from this information, can you get that a is equal to 0, b is equal to 0 and c is not equal to 0? Can we prove? If I give you that ax plus by is equal to c with x and y real variables, ABC parameters, the solution set is empty. Then can we get A is equal to 0, B is equal to 0 and C not equal to 0 as a condition back to us? Then we say converse is also true.
Yes, sir.
Do we get that?
Sir,
Yes, sir.
only if GCD of A and B divides C.
Hmm?
Sir, only if GCD of A and B divides C.
That
Only
is
then.
if A, B, C are integers. This is real number.
Oh.
number theory is all about integers. We are talking real numbers now. Otherwise that 5 by 3 also was not acceptable answer. If x was integer, then 3x plus 3x is equal to 5 does not have solution, right? So how do we prove that given ax plus by is equal to c has no solution? Then a must be 0, b must be 0 and c not necessary 0. Can we prove this? Can we prove converse?
Yes, sir.
Check whether you can arrive at this conclusion. When we are proving this case number 2, we have to show, if possible, let me write down the proof. If possible, c is equal to 0. If c is equal to 0 and a comma b are not equal to 0, then 0 comma 0 is a solution contradiction. One, two. If c is equal to 0, 1, a comma b not equal to 0, then 0 comma 0 is the solution. And if a comma b equal to 0, then r cross r is the solution. Three, a equal to 0, b not equal to 0, then what will be the solution? X, any x,
Comma 0.
x comma 0
Sir.
is the solution. Okay, and otherwise you can do. So if possible c is equal to 0, then every time you get solution, therefore contradiction. Case 2, if c is not equal to 0. If c is not equal to 0 and a is not equal to 0, case 1, a not equal to 0, then solution set c my, you have this answer ready with you, c minus by upon a comma y, where y belongs to r. This is the solution set. Contradiction. If c is not equal to 0 and 2b is not equal, solution set x comma c minus ax upon b, where x belonging to r. Contradiction. You have a solution set, and therefore every time you end up getting solution set, and hence this implies c is not equal to 0 and a comma b is equal to 0 is the answer. Contradiction method. Converse is proved by contradiction method. All the remaining 3 cases are not true because the solution set is even true. Okay, and this way you can get all the 4 cases converse true. लिहून घ्या काय समजले ते. I mean, these are important things which need to be discussed before really starting those easy things of coordinate geometry, because this has got something to do with a bigger picture. Okay, so for the remaining cases, you can easily write the proof for converse. Suppose we say that if ax plus by is equal to c has r cross r as a solution set, then you can show that if a and b are 0, c is not 0, then empty. If b is not equal to 0, then this. If a is not equal to 0, then this. And therefore r cross r is only possible when a is equal to 0 is equal to b is equal to 0 is equal to c. Only in that case it is possible. So every one case, if you take and want to prove converse of it, you have to show that remaining three cases are contradicting with the given solution set. Okay, so this is in general theory. And when we are dealing with n-dimensional system also, see, now here also you will observe that there is an empty set, solution set, which is empty. There is an empty solution set. There is now plane is under consideration because there are two variables. So it's a plane. Geometrically, it is a plane under consideration. Therefore, r cross r is a solution. Entire plane is a solution set. No point in the plane is a solution set, and some points in the plane, like you can take any value of x and then you can calculate. Okay, what does this mean exactly? Okay, this means, let me explain it to you. Suppose I go to a shop and buy two pencils and three erasers, and I pay 13 rupees to the shopkeeper. I go to the stationery shop, I buy two pens and three erasers, and I pay 13 rupees to the shopkeeper. What is the price of pen? Can you tell me what is the price of pen? Yes, 9th standard students. This is easy question for you. Bola bola. What is the price of pen? This is not interview question. This is easy question.
Price of the pen cannot be determined.
Cannot be determined. Okay. And can I say like this? If eraser is 1 rupee, then pen is 5 rupees. Can I say like this?
Yes.
Yes.
So if eraser is free, then pen is 13 by 2. If eraser is minus 1 rupees, then pen is 16 by 2, 8 rupees. If eraser is a real number, then pen is equal to 13 minus 3 upon 2. That is what this is. You put any value of E, you get value of P. You put any value of X, you get value of Y. You put any value of Y, you get value of X. That is what is the solution set, and therefore, suppose I say that it is 2x plus 3y is equal to 13. That is what this equation is. Suppose in our xy system, 2x plus 3y is equal to 13. There are infinitely many points which will satisfy this equation. It is not going to be a unique point which will satisfy this equation. It has a degree of freedom. If you put any value of x, y value is fixed. You don't have flexibility for both the values x and y. This relation will say you enjoy flexibility for either x or for either y. The moment you exhaust that flexibility, your second is fixed. So degree of freedom in this case is 1. The moment you put y is equal to 0, your x becomes fixed. Okay, and therefore degree of freedom is 1. Therefore straight line one dimensional system is a solution set of this. If I put this value of y, if I put this value of y, I get this value of x. If I put this value of x, I get this value of y. If I put this x, I get this value of y. Do you understand what I am trying to say? So therefore there are infinitely many points in x or y plane which satisfy this equation. Okay, let us go back and say 3x is equal to 5. I don't have any flexibility. It is fixed on x axis, only one variable x, and therefore you put value of x is equal to 5 by 3, and that is the end of the story. So the solution set, there is no freedom here, therefore dimension of solution set is 0. Zero dimensional solution set means it is a point. One dimensional solution set means it is a straight line. Two dimensional solution set, it is a plane. Three dimensional solution set is a space, and so on. This is 12th standard. 12th standard. Last few lectures. Of linear algebra. Okay, it will reflect there in 12th standard, whatever we are discussing now. But for us right now, what do we mean by this? What do we mean by this? And that is what you have studied in your school. If I give you only one equation, 2x plus 3y is equal to 30, you say there is no solution set, I cannot solve it. That is what you say, but actually that is not true. You can solve it provided you assume some values of x and y. You can solve it. However, if I simultaneously say that, okay, let me take this as P and E. 2P plus 3E is equal to 13. Okay, one student goes to stationery shop, he buys 2 pens and 1 eraser in 13 rupees. Another, your brother goes to the same shop, he buys 3 pens and 1 eraser and he pays 16 rupees. Now you don't have flexibility. Your flexibility is lost. You have got 2 equations and 2 unknowns. Now you eliminate and find E is equal to 1, P is equal to 5. That is the unique solution set for that. Because you ended up getting 2 equations. Different equations. However, if I would have given you, I go to stationery shop, I buy 2 pens, and I buy 3 erasers, I pay 13 rupees. Okay. If my son goes to stationery shop, he buys 4 pens and buys 6 erasers and he pays 26 rupees. Oh, you have got 2 equations with 2 unknowns. So we should have a unique solution. Tell me what is the cost of pen and what is the cost of eraser? Still not unique, because it is one and the same. It is the same equation with constant multiple that you have got. Unfortunately, he also got 2 pens and 3 erasers, and he bought 4 pens and 6 erasers, and I bought 2 pens and 3 erasers. Therefore, the price of pen and eraser cannot be calculated because they are multiples of each other. And now, I mean, if I buy it for 30 rupees and 4 pens and 6 erasers, so okay. So when now I am trying to tell you this story. If this happens, it is a unique solution that I have, like B by A in earlier case. Unique solution. Yes. Here, this is infinitely many solutions. You put value of E, you get value of P. So here the solutions are infinitely many. Here it is unique. Okay. And now let me explain you the third situation. Suppose I go to shop. Suppose I go to shop. I buy 2 pens and 3 erasers. I pay 13 rupees. And my son goes to the same shop, buys same pens, 4 number, 6 erasers, and he pays say 25 rupees. Find P and E. These two equations are not consistent. So no value of P and E will simultaneously satisfy both these equations. Therefore, it is empty set. Here at least what was happening? It is double. So any value of P you take, you fix value of E, you will get a solution. Keep doing it, you will get solutions. So therefore, infinitely many ordered pairs of P comma E will satisfy these two equations. Unique pair 1 comma 5 will satisfy these two equations, and no pair will satisfy these two equations. That is the moral of the story, and it gets extended for more dimensions. X, Y, Z, 3 dimensions. X1, Y1, X1, X2, X3, X4, X5, Xn, n dimensions. The same story gets similar, analogous to what we are discussing for higher dimensions, and that is what is all about linear algebra, which we will discuss in 12th standard. So now let us go back and build our bridge of geometry and algebra. Neatly draw y-axis. Gone. Neatly draw y-axis. Neatly draw x-axis. You also should do it in your notebook. Okay. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. 1, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 2. So now our coordinate system is set. Now I will keep on asking you some questions which you should answer. It is good in classroom, but we have to manage somehow. What are the coordinates of this point? Three comma 0. What are the coordinates of this point? 0 comma. What is the coordinate of this point? 2 comma. So 2 is the distance from y-axis, 3 is the distance from x-axis. Okay. What is the coordinate of P? What is the coordinate of Q? What is the coordinate of R? What is the coordinate of O? Chalo. P, Q, R and O. You show me the coordinates. Really easy for every student. So -4 -2. Q -3, 1. R 4, minus O 0, sketch x is equal to 3. In 2D system, now x is equal to 3. How will you sketch? It's a line parallel to y-axis passing through 3. Y is equal to -1. How will you sketch? Every point on this line passing through y is equal to -1. Every point on this line will have y coordinate is equal to -1. X coordinate any point as per where that point is. Right? So this is equation of this vertical line. This is equation of this vertical line. This is equation of this horizontal line. So geometry is curve, algebra is its equation. Geometry is a curve, algebra is its equation. Every point on the curve will satisfy the algebra of that curve. Every algebra. Okay, so now this is a y is equal to -1. Is 7, -1 on this line? Yes, because y is equal to -1. Is 4, 3 on this line? No, because x is equal to 4. Here x should be equal to 3, right? So how will line y is equal to x look like? How will line y is equal to opposite of x look like? Draw and show me. Okay, y is equal to x is a 45-degree line passing through origin, and y is equal to -x is -45 or 135-degree line passing through origin. How will y is equal to 2x look like? Okay. So y is equal to 2x means you take any value of x, say x is equal to 1, y is equal to 2. X is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. So if you get actually 2 points, then you can sketch a line, because in geometry we know the moment we have 2 points, a line is fixed. So you can do this. Now y is equal to y or 3y plus x is equal to 0. How will this line look like? 3y plus x is equal to 0. How will it look like? चला काढा दाखवा. Okay, how will you rearrange it? Okay, you can say 3y is equal to opposite of x, or opposite of 3y is equal to x. You take any value of y, say y is equal to 1, your x value is going to be -3. It is going to go from this point. If y is equal to 0, x is. So you get 2 points, finish. Something like this. Okay. Next question, how will y is equal to x plus 3 look like? Now you have to draw a proper sketch and show it to me so that I can say yes, it is correct. Okay. You take x value is equal to 0, you get y3. X is equal to 1, you get y4. X is equal to 2, you get y5, and so on. So by putting these points, you join those points to get a straight line. That is how you can draw the straight lines on in this 2D plane. Now we will do this something similar to this. I mean, we will do the theorem that whenever you have x and y in the equation and their powers are 1 or 0, I mean 1 or 0. So that is what is every linear equation in x comma y represent straight line. Now this is a theorem. If time permits, we will prove it, but otherwise, what is this theorem saying? Linear equation in x and y, that is algebra. You take anything, ax plus by is equal to c, linear equation, because x to power 1 hai, y to power 1 hai, so it's a linear equation in xy, which is two variables. It represents straight line in geometry. So this is algebra, this is geometry. Do you understand? This is a theorem. So far I am giving you all possible combinations of x and y, keeping power of y 1 and power of x 1 or less than 1. So when I say ax is equal to c, I mean, and if it is two variable system, I mean ax plus by raised to 0 is equal to c, and therefore x is equal to c by a is your solution set, and x is equal to c by a is going to be vertical line like this, and this coordinate is going to be c by a. Do you understand what I am trying to say? Every linear equation, this is called linear. Now if the equation is looking like this, ax square plus by square plus cxy plus dx plus ey plus f is equal to 0, something like this. Variables, real variables are 2, x comma y, real variables. But then the degree of this equation is 2. In 11th and 12th, we will learn what do we mean by this equation, how the geometry of this equation looks like. But essentially, in 9th standard, we are going to do this and equation of circle. How will circle look like algebraically? Algebraically, how will circle look like? That is what is the job in hand. So we will play with numbers, we will play with the diagrams, we will solve equations, we will write down some theorems, we will prove some of them, we will not prove some of them, but we will eventually become very, very strong in coordinate geometry. So now I give you 3 straight lines to draw, which you draw and show me. That is the end of our today's lecture. 3 straight lines. How will these 3 straight lines look like? 1. Or shall I give you a difficult problem? Okay, let me give you a difficult problem. I have x coordinate, y coordinate, and I have a point here which is 2, and I have a point here which is 1, 2. Okay, sorry, 1, minus 2. Okay, and then I have a line which is passing through these points, these 2 points. Okay, I have a line which is passing through these 2 points. So I am now giving you geometry. You tell me what is the algebra of this line. That means what is the equation of this line? Find line AB. Find the equation of line AB.
सर एकदा इक्वेशन परत रिपीट करता का
5x minus y is equal to 7 is the equation of this line. 5x minus y is equal to 7. Now if you put x is equal to 10 minus 3, 7. Yes, A satisfies. 5 minus 2, that is 5 plus 2, B also satisfies. Yes, that work. So how to arrive at this? If 2 points are given, we will discuss in the next lecture. Okay, that is where we stop for the day. See you on Thursday.